Hi there, this is Penelope. This is a short video on question 20 in assignment 1 for MG5004 or DE5418. The question is about drawing a graph parametrically and then asking you to write it in Cartesian form. So you could have done this with a table, and it doesn't matter whether, I'm not going to do all the values. That's not very sensible to have done it that way. But you can put in the t and find the x values. That's a 16/5. And you put in, obviously that doesn't go there like that. If you put in -1, you're going to get 1 and -1, and if you put in 2, -2, you're going to get 8/5 and -16/5. And any choice of numbers will do. Or you could have used Desmos, which is what I've done to the right of your screen, and I actually put it in for -5 is less than t, which is less than 5. It kind of gives you a bit of a bigger picture than I've done there, but there's nothing to stop you doing this up to 5 or down to -5 on your table. Obviously there's a gap in there, and a gap in there, and a gap in there. So either way, it's fine. You get this graph, this quite famous graph that's that shape. Now, the second part of the question says rewrite this in Cartesian form, which means you get rid of the t's and you just write y in terms of x. So if we start off with x, then just cross multiplying, and then getting rid of your bracket, because what I need is I need t, because if I write t in terms of x, then I can put that into the y version and play around with it, and I'll get y nicely in terms of x. Okay, I'm going to shift the x and the 2t squared, so I've got xt squared minus 2t squared equals -x, and I can factorize my left hand side, and then divide both sides. Now I need this on the right hand side to be positive, or at least positive looking, because I want my next step to take the square root, and as it stands I can't take the square root of a negative number. So what I need to do is on the right hand side I need to multiply that by 1, but it's -1/-1, which is the same thing. And then -x times -1 is positive, and -1 times x minus 2 will give me -x and +2, which I'm just going to write the other way around like that. So t squared is equal to x over 2 minus x, and therefore t is going to be the square root of that. Okay, now we're going to put that into y. So y is going to be 2 times the square root of x over 2 minus x cubed divided by, now t squared is, well, we know what t squared is. T squared was x over 2 minus x plus 1. And on the bottom line, we can find the common denominator as being 2 minus x, and change 1 to being a fraction over 2 minus x, and then the bottom line is going to be 2 minus x, 2 over 2 minus x. So that's your bottom line now. And your top line, if you're careful, what we can do is change from surd sign to power sign. So we've got 2. Now we've got x to the half, which we're going to take to the power of 3. So that would be x, I'm going to run out of space, x to the power of 3 over 2. And the bottom line also is going to be 2 minus x, because it's the square root, so that's to the power of a half, now to the power of 3. So that would be to the power of 3 over 2. Okay, now stop the video, insert a new slide, and so this is what we ended up with on the previous slide. So we had that y was equal to 2x to the 3 over 2 over 2 minus x to the 3 over 2. Then on the bottom line, we'd worked out that that was 2 over 2 minus x. Okay, now what we can do is we can divide using our fraction rule for division. So we've got 2x to the 3 over 2 times 2 minus x to the 3 over 2. Now we're dividing by a fraction, so we're going to flip and multiply. And there are some things that we can cancel out. We can cancel out the 2 and the 2. And we've got, this is 2 minus x to the power of 1. So I can cancel that out. I'll do it over here. 2 minus x over 2 minus x to the power of 3 over 2. And the top line is to the power of 1. So that becomes 2 minus x to the power of 1 minus 3 over 2, which is 2 minus x to the power of negative a half. Okay, so it's on the bottom, so it's just the square root of that. So I put that on the bottom. And on the top then, I've cancelled out my 2's, and all I'm left with is the top line, x to the 3 over 2 over either 2x minus a half square root, which is probably easier to see. I'll just rewrite that. That's 1 over 2 minus root x, which is what I've got there. It's on the bottom, so it's that. Now we've got ourselves to y. We need y squared, so then y squared, okay, x to the 3 over 2 squared is just going to be x to the 3 over root 2 minus x, which is, once it's squared, is 2 minus x. Bingo, it's done. So all you had to do, let's just go back, was to find t. T was nasty. You just had to use your rules of powers, and then once you did that, it was just fractions and powers, and it all fell out. Okay, hope that helps.